Always have in the past. Always have. That's what I would rather say.
Hopefully will in the future.
Exactly. Because that is a true statement. To say I always do, that's an indication that I could fail. Right? And so that's what's scary for me, is the way that the way that it's phrased is honestly kind of scary.
Yeah.
Because it's like the expectation now is, oh, you'll figure it out. Well, that's scary. That sounds like an expectation where it's, instead of like, hey, you've always have in the past, that's a factual thing that I can't argue with. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's true. But yeah, whenever it's like, you always will, that's, whoo, that's scary.
It's almost like saying it's like you're never going to fail.
Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, you're gonna be fine, you're gonna do this, and then whenever there's an indication that I might not, then now it's like I had an expectation, or somebody had an expectation of me, that now I'm failing. And so that's not something that I really like, as opposed to like, I can't lose. Then I like that. It's like, hey, you've never failed in the past. Cool, that's true. You've never done this. And so that's true. It's a fact. And I can still fail in the future, even though I probably won't. But that's just based on past behavior. But it's still possible. It's still possible. And so then that makes me work harder, because I know that it's still possible for me to fail. But then I just look at my habits in order to get me to not fail. But yeah, whenever it's an expectation, dude, that's a bad thing for me. That's why I don't like the phrasing. I don't like being expected to win, because then the only thing that can happen is like it feels like a negative, where it's like, oh yeah, you won. I already knew you were gonna win. Or you freaking fail and they're like, what? Like, you know, it's like you can't win in that scenario. So that's why I like being the underdog more, honestly. It's a win-win either way then.
Yeah, you got a crap ton of evidence in the past of you figuring stuff out, winning, so you got that going for you. That's a good thing.
In some ways, yeah. I think that whenever you win too often, people actually want to see you fail too, which is an interesting thing that I've noticed. I don't know if I've talked about that. Also, and it's like an indicator of like, whenever, yes, I think I have talked to you about this. I don't think it was on camera though, so I'll explain it for the people. On your way up, people want you to win. They're like, when you're the underdog and like you're broke, they're like, yeah, come on, like you can do it, and like I believe in you. And then once you start to get some momentum and you start to like take off and you start to actually win, and then you win time after time after time again, people get really upset. I remember when I was in car sales, and like the first couple, people were like, oh, that's freaking cool, yeah, you got it, and like you beat the other guy, and like that's cool. Then when you started to get it month after month after month after year, you know what people want? They want to see you fail. They do not want you to win. They are tired of seeing you get that. It's the same thing with people like Tom Brady. People, when he was the underdog, they're like, oh, this is so cool. This guy did this, you know, he was started from the bottom, he worked his way up, and then when he started winning and getting better and better, then people were like, bro, I'm tired of him winning. I think that he needs to fall off, and people start to actually hate him because of his success. And his success was based on him actually being the underdog and putting in that work and then creating the skill set. And then he never learned the skill, or he never stopped using that same habits and skill set. And so he just continued to win. It's not just like, oh, he got to the top and then now he stays there. No, he continued to use that same system to develop himself in order to keep growing. And so anyway, that's what I continued to do, and I'm still continuing to do. And then it feels as though the more that I do well, the more that people want to see me fail, because they're so tired of seeing me win.
Yeah.
It literally feels like that a lot of times. And that's okay. I actually don't mind it. If you want to see me fail, I enjoy that more if you want me to fail than I do like expecting me to win. So I don't know what it is. Like I kind of like that energy more. So any of you people who want to see me fail, I appreciate you. I freaking love showing you that I'm probably not going to. It's going to be good. There is a chance though, and hopefully God does not wish that on me, and I don't believe that it's automatic. I believe if I continue to do what is right and I work really hard, I think that God will bless it. It's not a guarantee though. I just think it's a higher probability of like, okay, you do what's right, you treat people right, and you work really hard, you have a less likelihood of it failing, and I think that God will bless that. Again, it's not a guarantee, because if you look at the book of Job, like, I mean, Job was doing everything right and well, and he still got everything taken. Now, that could have been a actual factual event, or it could have been a you know, an analogy, who knows? But either way, the point is, like, God is God and he gets to choose what happens. But all of the people who want to see me fail and all that stuff, I really do like get a lot more motivation from that. So thank you. And for all the people who support me and want to see me win, I really appreciate that too. So either way, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. Love you. It's a good day.
Prove them wrong or like prove yourself right mentality. Either one of those.
Prove them wrong or prove myself right. Yes, both.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say I have both. On the prove them wrong, that's like, again, that's a big motivator for me of like, oh, you can't do that. I'm more like, okay, yeah, I would love to show you that that is possible and that one, I can do it, which means you can do it, which is kind of exciting for me. And then the prove myself right mentality, yeah, 100%. So what's funny is like proving yourself right, part of that comes from ego, which is just like, yeah, I gotta prove what I'm saying right. But then the other side of it, what I've noticed is comes from integrity of doing what I say I'm going to do and then holding myself accountable to that. And so I think you really just have to look at what side is that coming from and play with that a lot more. Is this coming from the side of me that's just like, oh, I have to show that I'm gonna continue to do this just in order to prove them wrong, even if it's at the detriment of what I really want. That's called ego. But if you're like, no, I'm gonna continue to do this because I told myself I was gonna do this and I know this is what is gonna lead me to the best outcome, that's called integrity. And so you have to define or look at what those things actually are for yourself on the reasons of why you're trying to prove yourself right. And so I think if you can really define why you're trying to prove yourself right and make sure that it's actually leading you to where you want to go, I think that's a beautiful thing, and I think it's integrity. But again, it can get misconstrued for ego, and so you really have to have self-awareness on, is it ego or is it integrity? What do you think about that, buddy? I've never even articulated that before, but now that I like say it out loud, like that's kind of what my brain processes through stuff that I don't even know that I process through until you ask me the question, and I'm like, you know, something that I thought about.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to process, you're processing your thoughts, and I'm like, okay. I like it.
You're like, oh, I think that makes sense.
Yeah, dude, because I have a hard time, like, but I have a hard time speaking them and, like, explaining them to myself, or, you know what I mean? Like, getting it out to where it makes sense.
That's like the name of the game, because a lot of times we think our thoughts are true, and, like, they're just like, oh, it just is what it is, and really, it's not just like your thoughts are automatically true. You got to break down your thoughts and evaluate, is this true? What part of this is true? How much of this is true? You know, like, you have to ask yourself those questions whenever you're just believing things. Sometimes most people just like, oh, I think this way, and so it just is what it is. Like, that just means it's part of my personality. That's who I am. That's not true.
Yeah.
Like, it's like you can think a thought that is entirely not true and it does not serve you, and it makes no sense for you to do that. So anyway,
yeah,
I would challenge your own thoughts, and yeah, you have to be able to think through why you believe what you believe.
100%.
Little on the toasty side, a good day for all black. It's good though, dude. That's the funniest part that I was talking about on a meeting though, is like that same stress I felt yesterday. I mean, I was pretty stressed out, I'd say, but it's still like a quarter or half of what I used to feel, you know? And what's happening is so much greater than what it used to be. And so that's how I know my capacity has grown, because the amount of problems that there were yesterday was like 10 times what it was before. And the problems before used to stress me out 2 to 3 times as much as this one did.
True.
So the problems increased and my stress decreased compared to what it was. So that's how you know you're growing and your capacity is growing. So anyway, just something I thought about and I'm grateful for. Still freaking difficult, but stretching the capacity every single motherfucking day.
Forever.
Yes, sir. How's your day going, buddy?
My day is going pretty well. I got quite a bit done so far today.
Nice.
Screw those elevated car washes. You go through Mike's, don't you?
Yes, sir. Dude, I'll give you guys a little hack right now. So I learned this from Mr. Bobby Bolin, but he told me basically like Costco, you can go get the Mike's Car Wash cards that where you're buying like cards for $100. You're buying them for $75. Then what you do is you take those cards that you go buy, you wait until the booklets are on sale. Then you can get one of these booklets on sale I got the top. You can get whatever one you want, but once these go on sale, now you're buying it for like basically 50% of value because you got a double discount. You're using the discount that you buy at Costco, buying the money for less, and then you go use that to buy the booklet, which you're getting a discount on too. And honestly, I had that book. I've had it now for 2 years, and I've handed it out to people and stuff, and it's been like, it's freaking awesome. So anyway, that's a little hack for you guys. The book is like all the free car wash, so you buy 52 of them.
Oh.
Yeah, so then you get all the car washes. So like this one is a pretty expensive book. I think it's like 800, 900 bucks, something like that. I can't remember.
Oh, wow.
But then like I go and buy that much worth of cards and then I get a discount on it. So now instead of me spending $800 on the booklet, now I'm spending $500 because I got $100 for 75 bucks.
Gotcha.
It's been a good deal-yoski.
I think I got a quote for you, buddy.
Okay.
Time. Have you heard this one? Time is the only currency we spend without knowing the balance. Isn't that crazy?
It is. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I've not heard that quote. Time is the only currency we spend without knowing the balance. That is a good one. Time is the
So
only
true.
currency we spend. I mean, some people don't know their balance.
Yeah. That's true.
If it, I don't even want to look.
Yeah, if the card's approved, I know I got some money in there.
Yeah, that's so funny. I know. I always wonder, like, would it be even better to know or not know? It's like, dude, if you knew, I don't know, it'd be interesting. You'd make different choices.
Oh yeah. You'd be, what's the word? Intentional.
Yeah, that's why it's important to live like you're dying, buddy.
Yeah.
Because we all are.
We are.
We just don't want to say it. It's gonna be good. Dude, that's gotta be a catchphrase or like a freaking thing.